We're here as friends, and we're certainly here to support Nicola Carè in his political endeavours, which we are supporting emotionally, physically, financially, and all of the above. But I think it's important to have a discussion as amongst friends on the agenda and to listen to what Nicola has to say. It's a real pleasure to host you all, and I'm looking forward to the lunch. Mr. Carè, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph. First of all, I would like to go and say thank you to all of you, because it's been fantastic to have a small group, a very important group of friends around this table. And I say thank you. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Joseph, who's been very supportive from day one, and everywhere, and a lot of other people as well. So a lot of people probably don't know me. I just go very quickly. It's just a friendly discussion here today. I didn't want too many people around. Most of you have supported me as sponsors, and I would like to say a huge thank you to all of you, but mainly because all of you have a sector in the Italian community that you can actually transmit my intentions and probably my willingness to be in the Italian Parliament, in representing the Italians here abroad. Why did I actually candidate? Why I become a candidate? Well, the first thing is that journey started about 6-7 months ago. 6-7 months ago, we looked at the possibility to represent the Italians abroad, because I noticed in the last 6-7 years the two representatives that we had here that weren't doing perhaps their job, and I wouldn't say properly, but they weren't doing the job to the utmost. And I wanted to go in because I actually worked and lived in Australia for many years. I'm actually part of the Australian Italian community for a long time. I actually went through all the, call it bits and pieces of society. I worked in a factory when I was young, and I actually come all the way through, and I liked it. I liked it very much. Australia actually formed me, and I am Italian, but at the same time I feel like I'm a very through and through Australians, and this is why it is important to go back to Italy and actually help Italy coming out from this mess, I will call a mess that it is now. I think it's important that the way I started a long time ago is that everything that I learned so far and the experience that I had in Italy, I want to bring it back. Now, when we talk about people like Italians that were born here, Italians that arrived here, it is important to look at the second to third generations and to maintain that umbilical cord with Italy. That's the fundamental part, because I notice if you look at the American society, we probably see that there is some sort of a lacking there and a lacking between the second, third and fourth generations of Italians. And it is important in America. And here we are fortunate enough that the first generation is still alive. And by first generation, I mean the migrants that came here on the first time, is still alive. And they still have this knowledge of traditions and cultures that they bring with them. And we have to make sure that this knowledge of traditions and Italian culture gets passed the proper way through all the young ones. We notice, and I noticed myself, that perhaps the young ones here, the second and third generations, perhaps they look at Italy from a different perspective, and we have to make sure that they get very close back to the traditions of their grandparents, the traditions of all their ancestors as well. To do so, since that I come from the south, I was born in the south, raised in Rome as well, to do so, I think it would have been important to actually get together or promote that so-called made in Italy, not from my commercial point of view, but of cultural point of view everywhere in the world. You probably know that the Made in Italy as a brand is the third recognized brand all around the world, after Visa and after Coca-Cola. So if we have such a strong brand, so I think it's all of us who should be part in maintaining this brand, and by maintaining this brand, we can actually push on the traditions that we have within ourselves. The best part is, for example, here in Australia, is when the representatives goes to Rome, they talk about the Italian politics, and they get involved a bit too much in the local politics. I think it's essential that when we go there, we represent the needs, and we represent what we have here around, so to all the issues that we bring along, so the true Italians abroad to bring them back to Italy. Now, if you go through, and this is why, in a way, I wanted to actually, I wanted to actually represent the Italians abroad. Part of the MAIA, Movimento Associativo Italiano all'Estero. To the last minute, I didn't want to go because obviously they had a positions that I wasn't happy. And then at the last minute, the Monti group come along. I have a huge respect for Monti, and I actually felt that my values collided with the agenda Monti, and I become very proud to promote it. Doesn't matter if we win or we lose. I think we'll win on the first place, because what we want is actually to make sure that the dignity and the respectability that Monti is actually bringing upon us all around the world is with us all the time. Because I can assure you, in the last 12 months, in many occasions, people were making fun of the fact that we were Italian, the fact of our political situations over there, and the fact of our customs. You know, the Italians, oh yeah, you only look at this, and you don't do things properly, or the only thing you want to do is becoming a farce. And so I know for sure, living overseas or living abroad, that the Italians are not a farce, and the Italian society is not a farce, because Italians work very hard in Italy and they work very hard abroad. So, and this is why I actually align myself with Monti, and there are certain things that very strong points that I want to promote, and the very strong 6 points that I want to promote is to help Italy to grow and to help Italy to become stronger again, like we used to be, and to be respected. And this is fundamental for the second generations, because I want my children to actually go back and say, I'm very proud to be Italians. I'm not part of a sort of farcical situations. And I want Italy to be efficient, because everyone comes around and they say the Italians, you know, they're full of bureaucracy, nothing happens. And it is true, but we can help from, with our knowledge that we learn abroad. We can bring back intellectual properties that perhaps in Italy are not available. And we want to help the young ones. For example, a lot of young ones are living in Italy now. They're living, and it's like an exodus from Italy. So we want to help them to integrate here. We want to prepare like a plan that could give the possibility to these young ones to go back there with a lot more experience, and to be able to perhaps start changing the way the Italians are thinking, because a lot of the young ones can do that. Because the Italians are a bit set in a so-called, what would you say? They're set in, it's a society, they are very conservative and don't want to change. The only people that can change it, you can see it from the outside, and so you go back and say, and the only people that can do it is people that have lived different experiences and go back to Italy and say, that's what we want to do, because we experienced this.
And the best example is Marchione.
Exactly, Mercury, exactly. It changed Fiat completely from a company that was near to bankruptcy to a company that actually bought Chrysler and became one of the leading companies in the world. So, and the other thing is also our heritage. As I mentioned before, our heritage is very important. The heritage could be a culinary heritage. It could be the fact that Nonna tells us certain things. It could be the fact that we have 70% of the culture of the monument around the world is actually in Italy. And we have Pompeii that is actually getting lost. We have other great monuments and testimony of our ancient history that they're getting lost. So we have to bring back to Italy the fact that the money to fix these wonderful things doesn't have to come only from the public service, but would have to come from people that have made it, and the people that have they can give out philanthropy. That did it. For example, Fendi did it in Rome with Fontana di Trevi now. There are a lot of people that are doing it, but Tod's is another one, you know. And this is what really is fundamental. And we can only do it if we bring this mentality back there. And the other thing is to promote the money in Italy. We know the money in Italy all around the world. A lot of people say, you know, in the last 12 months, it's the last 12 months are the only period in the last 10 years that the economy, the exchange, the balance of trade is actually in positive, nearly $10 billion compared to what they used to be before. This is only, and everyone is crying in Italy, and Italy is still maintaining their positions only for one reason, for their exports, the export of their high quality produce. So, and this is what we come in. network of the Italians abroad, the network of the ambassadors that we are around. You don't have to buy, but you actually create friends. In doing so, and this is why I actually wanted to get involved, because I've worked so much in many sectors, and I think it is time to go back to Italy and say, you know, guys, just take your finger from your nostrils and just look at the situation abroad, and don't look just at the situation of your chair where you're sitting, just to control that. There's a lot of bureaucracy. A lot of Italians one day, but you actually experience this one here with your house in Rome. You know, you think, yeah, I would like to invest here, but I don't want to. I don't want to because it's too many problems. And also for, this is mainly why I wanted to go in politics. So I would like to go around the table a second to listen to all of your thoughts and see what we can do. If I'm successful, what I can do for you. And as I said to you, I say thank you very much to all of you for the great support that you have given me in the years. I've become the person that I've become thanks to you, all people. Forget about the financial part, because the financial part is essential in this campaign, and I say thank you to many of you people. But it's the experience and the knowledge that you passed to me, and the respect that you actually passed to me, that I'm very proud of. And I say thank you to all of you. Thank you. Anyway, we drink to the Senate, we hope. Grazie, grazie.